We are at the Allen Junction on Awolowo Way, Ikeja. It is now wearing a new look following the remodeling and removal of its roundabout structured by the Lagos State government. This is aimed at improving traffic flow and reducing travel time for Lagos motorists and commuters. Welcome to Inside Lagos. I'm Adedoja. Salam Adenini. The Lagos State government plans to shift management of mild and asymptomatic COVID-19 patients to primary healthcare centers. This will serve as a springboard for the government's plans to treat such patients at the local level, leaving the isolation centers for serious cases. As the global community is racing to eventually halt the spread of the COVID-19 pandemic, Lagos State government has continued to review its strategy in the fight against the novel virus. So far, 21 local government areas are on the map, with Etiosa, Lagos Mainland and Ikeja amongst the top 3 local government areas in the geographical distribution of cases. The Lagos State Commissioner for Health says plans are in place to revamp the primary healthcare centers as the government plans to embark on home treatment of COVID-19 patients.
We want to increase our testing capacity even more. I think we all agree that one of the tenets of managing this outbreak is to test as many people as possible so that we can employ the principle of isolation. Right now, we're testing between 500 and 800 persons a day, and in the next few weeks, we have established a consortium of laboratories. They've all passed their validation and accreditation, so we know that they can test using the molecular biology test that we call the PCR test. They've all passed with 100%, and so we'll be adding 5 private laboratories to our testing consortium in addition to our already established public laboratories headed by the Lagos State Biobank. So as we now proceed with this expanded testing strategy, we will be testing between 1,000 and 2,000 a day when these labs come on stream. Now, based on our track record and based on our positivity rate of about 20%, and that fluctuates, sometimes it's 20%, sometimes it's 30%, sometimes it even goes as high as 50% of the people that we sample. But that just depends on who presents themselves for testing. So if we start to get large numbers of people that are positive, we need another strategy for isolation. And that is why we have done 2 things. We've also started to accredit private hospitals who are prepared to join the COVID-19 response. So far, we've accredited 3 hospitals, and we've got about 5 more in the pipeline that want to admit COVID-19 patients and manage COVID-19 cases. At the moment, it is illegal to manage COVID-19 outside of an accredited facility, and you will see the names of the facilities. And therefore, as the public, we implore you not to go to any facility and be treated or tested if they are not facilities that have been accredited by the government. It is dangerous to do that. You might put yourself and the rest of your family members in danger, and you may certainly put staff of those facilities in danger if they are not practicing according to the standards that the government of Lagos has laid down. So, finally, to cope with the numbers of positive patients that we're seeing, we've incorporated what we call the home-based care, or the decentralization of isolation to the community, and we will be looking for homes where people can be adequately isolated in their private environment, which doesn't pose danger to other members of their families or to the community at large.
Lagos State has more than 200 primary healthcare centers. This will prove to be an important aspect in the state's fight against the global pandemic. According to the analysis given at the briefing, 60% of COVID-19 cases are mild and asymptomatic patients. To flatten the curve, the government believes primary healthcare centers have a huge role to play.
About to transit to community care, but even in our isolation centers, we have the isolation 1 facilities where we isolate people who don't have a positive test yet, and so we don't want to keep them to co-mingle with people who have a positive test, so that if it's not COVID, we don't give them COVID. Then we have the isolation 2 parts of the facility where we keep people who are positive, and then we have we are also bringing in private providers now who are complementing the numbers that we have, and then we're transiting to home-based care where we will be handling, next slide, where we'll be handling patients that are mild to moderate. The mild to moderate cases will be treated at home, while the more severe cases will then be referred to the isolation centers so that we don't saturate them. Now, like I said, we've licensed 3 health facilities now to improve the isolation space, and we have First Cardiology, Palon, Memorial Clinic, and Vedic. And like I just said a few minutes ago also, we will soon be commencing the transition to home-based care, where we will have centers in all the 57 local governments where people who come in with complaints will be tested, and then if they're positive and they have no symptoms, they will be kept at home and visited at home. There will be teams that visit them at home, and we'll also be deploying telemedicine to keep up to date with their current condition. That way, only the severe cases and the critical cases will be transferred to the isolation centers. And we are also thinking of creating some oxygenation centers in communities and also in our general hospitals, where cases that come in will be given first aid care, stabilized. Even the more severe cases will be stabilized and then transferred to the isolation centers.
While giving the situational analysis, it was revealed that the state has done about 35,000 PCR tests. It has also approved 7 private laboratories as COVID-19 testing centers. With this in mind, the state government says it plans to also build more isolation facilities that will cater for severe cases of COVID-19. The Lagos State Deputy Governor, Obafemi Hamzat, has inaugurated a new board for the State Cooperative College. We were there. The oath of office and secrecy displayed their commitment as members of the Foundation Governing Council of the Lagos State Cooperative College. Deputy Governor says oath taking is more than what people think.
As a people, we don't keep it, because if we keep it, if you read it again, and if everybody in this country, if we keep to that oath, this country will not be the way it is. No question in our mind. So it's either we don't take it serious, or that we know we are very religious people. All of us will go to mosque, all of us will go to church. But we swear before God and man, and we don't keep it. So for me, I'm going to church on Sunday, I'm going to mosque on Friday. You wonder of what use. when we swear before God and man and we just refuse to live by what we just said. So I think my own appeal is that in your own little corner, in that college, let us try to fulfill the reason why that college was built. I've passed the frontage, I've been in that college. It looks from outside, I didn't enter inside. It looks very nice. It looks very, very nice. Can we just make sure that what happens inside is also very nice? If we are able to train these people well, the cooperatives, if they're able to do what they are supposed to do, I think it will be good for this society. It will be good for you and me. And the quality of the people in this team, also, permanent secretary, directors, former permanent secretary, professor, it can't be better than that. Everybody is educated. So in our own little corner, let us just do what is right. So I want to appeal to you to please give it everything, so that at least in 2-3 years' time or 4 years' time, they will say that this group has done very well. So you have to work with yourself, no infighting. If there'll be issues, let's resolve them. The commissioner is there, the SA is there. Talk to them. The permanent secretary is a member. So whatever issues that needs to be resolved, let us resolve it. But let us make sure that the aim of setting up that school is fulfilled. Because some people sat down and say, oh, we need this school. We need to achieve this. Are we achieving it? So your job is to make sure we achieve it. So if we achieve it, you've done well. If we didn't achieve it, well, you've not done well. But I pray that you'll do well.
Amen. The Lagos State Cooperative College is a business school meant to tutor and produce seasoned and well-trained cooperators to enhance the cooperative movement in the state.
I am particularly proud to be a member of this high-achieving cabinet at this epoch-making event. Going through the membership list of the council, I have the confidence that the selection of members was well thought through and that they are indeed poised to lead the college into great heights of excellence in entrepreneurial and cooperatives education. I would also like to implore this distinguished governing council to make use of global best practices in designing policies that will take the college to enviable heights, thereby making it one of the best citadel of learning in the country. My office as the commissioner is open to the council in the event that you may need assistance by way of advice or in any other area of my competence and position as you kickstart activities in the college. I wish you a rewarding 4-year tenure in office.
The composition of the members of the governing council is such that all put together, the aggregate experience that is in that council is enough to deliver on the mandate as stated in the Enabling Act of the college. We will enrich the capacity of Lagos and also uplift poverty at the level of the grassroots, because that is where cooperatives is. Across the state, from the rough data I gathered, we have well over 3,000 cooperative societies that are scattered all over the state. Now, you can imagine if you put an average of about 5 people in each of these cooperative societies, and you can imagine that the likes of Shell, NPA, NMPC, NEPA, those ones will multiply more than 5. They will like 20 people that you have there. You have a pool of close to 20,000 people who require this special education. A number of them are currently working in all of these positions without the requisite experience. They just probably graduates and they just employ them ordinarily like as staff. Whereas the business of cooperative is special. It's a special kind of business. The business itself is owned and is also lent to the owners of the business. We are the cooperators are themselves the customers of the business. And therefore you need to have a special set of skills to be able to deal with this business and make a success of it. For example, look at Shell. I know Shell, for example. Current balance sheet of Shell is well over 30 billion naira. If you have a rundown on that cooperative, you can imagine what 30 billion will do in terms of deficit that will go into the account for all the cooperators of Shell. And that is how it is replicated in all of the big societies. And when you go to the smaller ones, even ordinary 2 million pool of funds in a small cooperative, if it is managed, you can imagine the 10,000 to this, the 5,000 to this will no longer be there. Therefore, more households will feel the pinch. But if you put the right caliber of people in all of these positions to help manage these funds, then the sky is the limit. The cooperative itself will be better managed, it will become efficient, and everybody will be happier for it.
The establishment of the college started in 2012 and was backed by law in 2018. This administration approved the constitution of the governing council for the college to take off soon. Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu has described the late lawmaker representing Lagos East Senatorial District, Adebayo Oshinowo, as an exemplary leader who lived a fulfilled life on the home and political fronts. He said this at the special plenary session held by the Lagos State House of Assembly in his honor last Tuesday. Solemn moment in the chamber of the Lagos State House of Assembly as rain of tributes and dirges poured out for the late lawmaker representing Lagos East Senatorial District in the National Assembly, Senator Adebayo Oshinowo, at a special plenary session held in his honor. Adebayo Oshinowo, popularly known as Peperito, died on June the 15th. The late lawmaker was a member of the Assembly for 16 years, serving 4 consecutive terms.
But what will people say about us? We certainly cannot talk enough about the late distinguished senator of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
The Speaker, Right Honorable Mudashiru Obasa, described the late lawmaker as a formidable stabilizer and hero, saying the late Oshinowo was an influential politician who was endowed with native intelligence.
A hero in every sense, late Senator Adebayo Oshinowo, popularly known as Peperito. We are gathered here today to honor Senator Bayo Oshinowo, a man imbued with native intelligence, political sagacity, and wisdom of Solomon, which manifested hugely in his dealings. A power broker who assisted many politicians to realize their ambitions. My knowledge of Pepe is that he was an astute, grassroots politician, thorough progressive, a political pathfinder and liberator, a cheerful giver and a super benefactor to many. My emergence as Speaker, which I have always said officially and unofficially, was through divine intervention of Allah our leader Asiwaju Bola Tinubu and Peperito. Peperito actually played prominent roles because while all forces were against me then, Pepe stood his ground in my support, which led to my emergence as Speaker of 8th Assembly, a feat that I will never forget in my life.
Also, Speaker of the House of Representatives, Right Honorable Femi Gbajabiamila, who joined the session through virtual platform, said the late Oshinowo's sense of humanity will be forever remembered.
There's no way you can talk about Lagos State House of Assembly. There's no way you can talk about Lagos State. And in a very short time that he's been in the Senate, there's no way you can talk about the Senate without the mention, and not a footnote for that matter, without the major mention of the name Bayo Oshinowo. He came, he saw, and he conquered. No question. In a very short, what I'll consider a short life. It was a life well lived, well spent, in the service of humanity. We're going to remember him fondly. That's the way I want us to carry, to remember Bayo Oshinowo, not with sadness, but with fond memories.
Members of the Assembly who paid tribute to the late senator said Adebayo Oshinowo made credible legislations while he served in the Assembly.
I would have expected Pepe to return to continue to do what he has done to immortalize his name. Honorable Oshinowo has immortalized himself. We can only pray that God continue to rest him peacefully in Aljana.
Life as a whole is a stage where you come in, you play your part, and you leave the rest. The death of Senator Oshinowo has shown that, well, death is inevitable, and we should try as much as possible to play our part and play it well.
It's an epitome of humility. When you go to me, he will eat with you. He will discuss with you passionately. And he never treated you whether you're a Christian or you're a Muslim. It's immaterial to him because he sees everybody as the same thing. But more importantly is the fact that Pepe has got into his bus stop. And the fight he fought is the fight of life. We were born and we are going to go one day. But one thing he did, he invested in his children. All his 3 children are medical doctors. What he did, he invested in people which we call human capital.
When peace like a river attended your ways, when sorrows like sea billows rose, whatever my Lord has taught me to say, it is well with my soul. It is well with my soul, with my soul. It is well with his soul. Amen. Thank you very much.
It is no doubt that the memories of the late Senator Adebayo Oshinowo will linger in the minds of Lagos residents for his selfless leadership and service to the people.
That does it on today's edition of Inside Lagos. Many thanks for being a part of it. Remember that the number of COVID-19 cases reported by the NCDC are human beings like you. Don't be a victim before you believe. Take responsibility. I'm Adedoja Salam Adeni. See you next time.